Hello and welcome to the course Leisure and Health Relationships. This slideshow will take you through everything you need to know for the course and explain how you can engage with the course moving forward. Just a brief outline of what we'll go through. First, I'll take you through the course information, including how it will be delivered. Then we'll talk about academic policies, as well as the assessments and the ways that you can engage with the course. Next, I'll provide a few resources for you to use, and then finally, next steps moving forward and getting started with the course. So first up, for the basics, this course will be delivered asynchronously online, which means you don't need to check in at any specific time, but you'll have flexibility to engage with the course material when you need to. The course will require weekly engagement, so there will be an activity that you will be required to do online each week. However, these assignments are open for the entire week and you can choose to do them whenever you would like to. But be prepared and ready to engage with that material each and every week of the fall semester besides the designated fall break. The textbook that's required for this course is Leisure, Health, and Wellness, Making the Connections. It's stocked in the bookstore and it's also available online through the publisher or through Amazon or various off-sale sources. And then the second text is Social Determinants of Health, the Canadian Facts, and this is an online resource that you can access just through Google as well as through the library website. There will be other various readings that you will need to access and read, and all of those will be available through the library catalog. Anything that is not available through the library, I will post to the Sakai page. Be sure that you're comfortable accessing these resources from the library page. I will not be posting readings that are accessible through the library website. So it is your responsibility to access those and read them just like chapters from the text. With regard to communication, any general questions regarding the course should be directed to the discussion forums on the Sakai page. This way, I can respond to questions publicly in a place that everyone can see so that I don't need to respond to the same questions over and over again throughout the semester. If you have a personal issue or something that's specific to you, you can either contact me through the messages tool on Sakai or by the email provided in the course outline. If I receive questions that have already been answered, either in a course lecture like this, in the course outline, or on the forums, you will not receive a response. So make sure you're checking those places first. With regard to your own online engagement, I like to strive towards creating a positive space for engaging with the course material. So this means that we'll respect each other and provide encouragement towards engaging with the material and talking through our ideas. A few tips for this: talk about ideas rather than talking about people. Feel free to question and challenge each other, but do so in a way that values a diverse opinion or values the learning process of another person. I just want to highlight this up front because sometimes in our online spaces we can be a little bit unaware of the way our texts or our engagements come across. So just be sure to proofread that engagement one more time and think about how the person on the other end may read that and understand it. Okay, next up, let's talk about the course objectives. So the objectives for this course are for us to be able to identify and explain concepts and theories related to leisure, health, and well-being, and discuss diverse perspectives on the relationships between leisure, health, and well-being. And importantly, I'm engaging with these concepts very broadly defined, and I encourage you to bring in different perspectives and different understandings of these things. Secondly, in terms of application, Want to apply the learnings from selected literature to contemporary examples. Second, engage in critical, constructive discussions about contemporary issues in health, leisure, and well-being. And finally, demonstrate the research and writing skills required to collect, organize, and apply literature from several sources. And these objectives will be achieved through the various assessments that I'll talk about in a minute. Finally, we will evaluate real-world leisure activities and their potential to influence health and well-being, both positively and negatively, and propose a theoretically sound option through which we can positively influence health and or well-being through leisure, as well as positively influence leisure through health and well-being. So how will these objectives be assessed? There are 4 components to assessment for this course. This will involve weekly quizzes, online seminar contributions, as well as a culminating digital resource assignment. So I'll go through each of these individually and explain what you need to know about them. First up is weekly quizzes. These quizzes will be open for each week of the course. They will open on Mondays and they will close at 11:30 p.m. on Sunday nights. It's your responsibility to complete these quizzes for each week of the course. You will be required to have read the material and understand the material prior to completing the quiz. And the quizzes will be timed, so you will not have time to look up the answers to each question. You're permitted to use any material, and you can do this from anywhere that is convenient for you. The quizzes will be located under the quiz tool in the Sakai platform. There's a total of 10 quizzes in the course, and your highest 8 scores will count towards your final assessment for this component. For the second week of the course, I will provide a practice quiz so you can go in, get familiar with the tool, and answer some questions and see what those questions will be like. This practice assessment or practice quiz will not count as one of the 10 quizzes for the course. Second will be the online seminars. For each individual will be required to sign up for 2 online seminars during this course. These seminars will start in week 4 and continue through to week 12 of the course. And these will involve, each week that you sign up for will involve 1 original contribution and 1 response to someone else's original contribution. These contributions should not be a summary of the course readings, but should show that you understood the content, have engaged with it, and extend our knowledge in some way. So that might be by critiquing it, challenging it, applying it to a real-world example, or introducing additional content that relates to it. These original contributions will be due to be submitted Monday night of the corresponding week at 11:30 p.m., and then your response to another person's original contribution will be due Thursday night at 11:30 p.m. As I said before, you're required to be part of 2 of these online seminars, one of which will be between weeks 4 to 7, and the other between weeks 8 to 12. So there are a limited number of spaces in each weekly online seminar, so you must sign up for the week that you will be participating in. In order to do this, you'll go to the Site Info tool on Sakai. So this is our Sakai page. You'll see on the bottom left, we have the Site Info tool. When you click on the Site Info tool, it will take you to this screen. This screen here, you'll see the tab that says Groups You Can Join. When you click on that tab, it will display the list of weekly seminars. You will need to sign up for 2 of these by clicking on the Join button on the right-hand side. One of these should be in weeks 4 to 7, which you can see here, and the other one should be in weeks 8 to 12. You can choose these weeks however you would like, whether it's based on the topic or based on what works best with your schedule. But I encourage you to look ahead and look at the readings, because you will be required to have done those readings in advance to contribute your original contribution on the first day of that week. So be aware that this will take some preparation on the front end, and you should be ready for that going into it. Finally, we have the digital resource assignment. So this will involve you creating a resource that that is intended to be publicly accessible and educational and informed by the literature and the course content. So this resource can be any format that you would like. So it can be things like podcasts, a website, a blog post, a webinar, or a slideshow like this one that I'm preparing here. This is up to you. It can be whatever format you would like, and I encourage you to be creative with your formats. The digital resource itself does not need to be publicly available, meaning you don't have to post it online or have it on YouTube or on a personal website, but it should be created with the intention of being publicly accessible. So something that you could find online if you were searching. And this assignment will be assessed not on the quality of the digital resource, meaning not on how good you are at editing videos, on graphic design, or recording audio, but on the content that's actually in the resource assignment. So there's two components to this assignment. First, you'll submit a plan for your assignment. So this will be very simple, and it will identify the topic that you're going to address, the population that your resource will be intended for, the format that your resource will be, so whether it's a podcast, a series of posters, an infographic, whatever you choose. And then you will also identify the course material that will inform this resource, as well as other external sources that you have identified. So these external sources should be scholarly research, and your best place to start looking for that is on the library webpage. Your final submission for this assignment will involve submitting your digital resource and then an accompanying 2-page document which explains and justifies the rationale for the resource. So this will involve drawing on the course material and external sources that you have identified. If you look at the course outline, there's more detail on some of the requirements of this assignment, including formatting, number of resources, etc. So just a quick note, there are lots of online resources that you can use to help facilitate creating these online digital resources. So these slideshows that I'm making, I'm using Keynote, which is the Mac version of PowerPoint. But with both these programs, you can record audio over top of slides and then export them as a video file. So effectively, you can create a video without knowing any video editing skills. There's also several online media generators. On the right here, you see an infographic that I created using one called Canva. That was very simple. It took me 10 minutes. There's also others called PictoChart, Powtoon. iMovie is a very simple video editing, audio and video editing tool, as well as simple audio recorders. So your computer, your tablet, your laptop, these all, and most phones actually will have a pretty good audio recorder as well. So for something like a podcast, you could use that as well. So I encourage you to be creative with this. Think about the ways you can engage the media and the way you would like to create this resource. With regard to lateness, quizzes and seminars are asynchronous, meaning you can do them at any point throughout the week. Therefore, there will be no late submissions. So after the assigned due date, you will be, if you have not submitted one of these, you will be assigned a 0 for that component. For the digital resource plan and accompanying document and the final assignment, the late penalty will be 20% per day to a maximum of 100%. With regards to any lateness or absences, if there's a reason that you foresee you won't be able to complete something on time or you need any kind of extension, you should request that through me, through an email, at least 2 weeks in advance of the date that will be affected. Any sort of medical or personal reasons will require appropriate documentation, and that's available online. So please check out those policies and be familiar with them before the course starts. If you require any sort of accommodation during this course, you should be registered with Student Accessibility Services. And if there are any other types of accommodations that you might need, please feel free to contact me and we can discuss that. Just make sure you do it 2 weeks in advance so we have time to sort it out before the date is on us. It is also your responsibility to be familiar with the academic integrity policy. There's a brief outline of this in the course outline, but the full policy is available online. Be sure that you're familiar with this and you know what it means. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because I'm sure you've heard this many times. Also, Turnitin will be used for all assignments for this course. If you have any issues with this, you can contact me and I can explain it, or you can look it up in the course outline. So a couple of resources that I want to direct you towards that could be very useful for you. A to Z Learning offers a variety of workshops on research and writing and studying that may be useful. Personal counseling services are available on campus, and Ombud services are there should you require any sort of appeal for this course. The library is also an invaluable resource that you will need to use to complete this course. So your first stop for most searches can be conducted through the super search function, but if you require more support searching out research or sources, please feel free to contact the reference librarian, Elizabeth Yates. Her contact information is on the course main page as well as in the course outline. So last up, I just want to offer a few tips for being successful in this course. Firstly, use the resources that are available to you and follow the instructions. I will do my best to make this course as transparent as possible, providing you with all the things that you need to be successful. All you need to do is complete the assigned readings and complete the content accordingly. To do this, I suggest keeping on top of your readings and keeping good notes on what you've read and your reflections on it. This can also be facilitated through the online forums, which you will all have access to every week, and you are all free to participate in every week. However, only those being assessed will be assessed for their contributions. Note that the quizzes will build, so the material covered in the first weeks will be applied in quizzes in subsequent weeks. So it's important that you keep good notes and retain this information as it will be useful moving forward. Definitely be sure you're managing your time appropriately. Some weeks are pretty heavy reading weeks. Most notably, the first couple weeks are heavy. However, after that, when the online seminars start, the readings will be a little less time consuming. But be sure not to leave all of this content until the last day in case it takes some time to get through it or you have questions to post on the forum. And be sure to complete all the learning activities and assessments. If you don't submit it, you can't be assessed on it and you can't get marks. For the most part, you would be better off to submit something that's incomplete rather than not submitting at all, and at least that way you can get some feedback. Also, don't hesitate to reach out at any time if you have any questions or concerns about the course. I'm happy to respond and direct you as best I can. I'll do my best to respond to all emails and postings within about a 48-hour window, unless otherwise noted. Okay, so next steps. To get ready for the course, you should familiarize yourself with the Sakai tools online. So notably, these are the lesson tools, the quizzes, the forums, site info, and the assignments tool. Next, you need to sign up for 2 online seminars using the site info tool, as I demonstrated before. Be sure you sign up for one during weeks 4 to 7 and the others during weeks 8 to 12. As I said, space in each week is limited, so we get a spread and we have people engaging in every week. And these are on a first come, first served basis. And remember, you must be signed up for the week to be assessed for that week. But I encourage you to use the discussions happening in the seminar as a study tool and as a resource for you moving forward. And that's it. The first week's lesson will be posted very shortly, so you can get engaged with the content and start the readings and try that practice quiz. Good luck this semester. I look forward to interacting with everyone as we go, and I hope you enjoy this course.